connection with music, honestly. I was probably fairly young, but it came through my father. He was a musician, and I don't know, he just kind of made me play piano, which I didn't like first, because I'd rather go outside and play with kids. But I had to practice, and then I went to conservatory, and somehow it became part of my life, and I was enjoying it, discovering, and it's a really special world of music. And now it's part of myself, and it can't be separated anymore. Classical pianist, it's extremely hard to survive. There are a couple of people basically on earth, you can say, they make living from that. You would have to be teaching, you would have to be doing so many other things that you can really perform time to time, because you really can't live from that. That was my impression, what I saw. And so one thing was existential. It wouldn't be really possible. I could play some concerts, but I would be probably teaching kids in some schools, and I wasn't really wanting to do that. And in film music, for me, film music has an endless creativity. It's just every project I get, it's totally different. You're not repeating. Every project has a different problem, different solutions. And that's the exciting part, that you're trying to find, what's the soul of this movie? How do I, create, how do I make people to feel certain things? And then next film you score a horror movie, just trying to scare people, instead of giving them, emotions of something. And so you can use romantic sound, like for Toltec Legacy webpage. The music is mostly post-romantic period, which is the most accessible for everyone, because it's a melody that's very harmonical. And you can do it in film music. You can't really write a modern music, as you call it, concert, and to be harmonic. If you say harmonic things, then people will ask, what are you doing? Why are you writing it? It needs to be crazy, it needs to be atonal. So in film music you can do really anything. You can start with harpsichord with the bass guitar. Nobody would wonder if it's working with the project, with the movie. So it's really, from creative point of view, it's endless creativity, and that's really exciting. And for me as a musician, I can find in film music all aspects that I think one musician can believe or can, you know, would like to do. It's the first thing is the creative point. If I see something, I'm creative of finding themes, finding harmony. Second thing, I'll orchestrate by myself. So I write for all instruments, can conduct it, then I record it, I mix it. So it's just really everything what is in music, every step I can do, and it's exciting. When I'm composing and I know it's not going to be recorded, I have to use samples, and that's the first limitation. I can't really be creative on anything because the samples can do up to certain things and you can't go behind it. Otherwise it's not going to sound good. So if you compose with samples, it means you're faking the orchestra with electronic sounds. I'm fairly limited with my expressions, and if I know it's going to be recorded, then I know I can still do the MIDI mock-up to get a main theme and the harmony, so it's enough clear what it's going to sound like. By the orchestration process, I can go further than the MIDI and just do more articulations, more colors, which wouldn't be possible electronically. You wouldn't be able to hear them, but with live orchestra, you are. And that's the first thing, the limitations. And the second thing is just the MIDI, the electronic orchestra doesn't have feelings. It's just that it gives you the impression how it could be with live, but it's never going to be the same, fortunately. The multimedia, it's a big collaboration of a lot of aspects, and music is one of the really important one, because it's the only way how we can let the people feel something. Of course, images will give you a feeling or something, but through ears somehow you can get much faster to the heart than with eyes. So whatever you see, you're respecting with your eyes, you see what is in the picture. But the music helps you to give you closer feeling to whatever you have to feel. It's either the person on the screen, or it's somebody else you don't see on the screen, but you know he's watching that. Or you can point certain things that you would be able to point just with the visuals. And so the music is there to help the visual to. So it's again collaboration, because if you have just the music and you have a blank screen, it wouldn't work the same way. The images need music and the other way as well. I think film music is becoming one of the classical styles, because I mean you had all impressionism, you have modern compositions, you have serial music, and I think film music is one of the like mainstreams or something what's happening these days, because I mean, you can't really write atonal all the time and not expecting that everybody's going to listen to that and thinking, okay, this is today's music and we loved it and everybody has to listen to that. Just people really need the harmony, they need melody. Enjoy and like to do all the parts of the project, because I think it's fun, and sometimes even, when I'm composing and I know I'm mixing by myself, I can be thinking certain sounds that will actually happen by mixing. That by composition, you don't really can hear them, or that they don't really make sense. But I know by recording, I will record with a certain device, I will do certain effect on that, and I know I'll get certain sound. And the score will not really tell you the sound, but I know the process will be like that, so I will get certain things. So that's one thing that helps me to a composition already kind of hearing in my head the sound that it's going to be. And the second thing, I usually, if I can, I always try to get as much time for the project that I can possibly do it by myself. If the time pressure is big, I can't, it's just not humanly possible to do certain things. If I have to do orchestration of 40 minutes of music in 2 weeks, it's not possible, even if I wouldn't sleep. So I would have to get, you know, get a team, get an assistant or friend or somebody who will help me. And of course, by big recordings, like in Bratislava, I will have 3 people in the recording booth. They will have certain tasks to do because I'm conducting. I can't really take care of everything. So in the recording process, of course, there have to be more people and to cover and do really everything professionally. Usually sit on the piano, trying to get the right feeling in my head. You know, what I have to do, what I have to compose, what it's supposed to feel, what is it, you know, is it orchestra, is it violin, what are my limitations in a way, what style am I in? And then I started to play the piano, just kind of let my fingers walk and kind of improvisation. And I'm searching, you know, I'm playing and I'm questioning myself, is this the right feeling? Does it work? Does it give me back the feeling that I'm expecting? And sometimes I say, okay, no, it's not good. And I'm, you know, trying to think 5 minutes, or I walk, and then I do it again. And once I do something and I say, okay, I think this is good. And I write a paper and sketch the harmony or melody. Or sometimes I do it directly in a sequencer when I just open the software and get the violin sounds or something and play on the keyboard, and I will hear violins. And sometimes the sound will give me the right inspiration of what the harmony or melody could be. These 2 ways I'm usually working. Piano is definitely instruments that I know, that I can write for, and I know what is possible there. And so I guess, you know, when I'm composing or playing on the piano or improvising, then I can just do it very, very naturally, and it's going to sound nice because it's sitting naturally in the hands, and there's nothing awkward in the playing. And I don't know, it's just probably because I played it so much that I just really know the instrument. I know how to touch the instrument, and then whatever I write or on the piano, that I'm imagining right away, and I know exactly how it's going to sound, so I can't really run into some kind of fall that, okay, this is not good. It could happen with violins. If I write something for violin, it could happen that there are certain things that are not going to sound good. I would ask, why is it not good? It's not hard. Oh, because, you know, you're switching the string, you do this and that, and I'm not violinist, so these things can happen to me. But on piano, no, somebody might tell it's hard, but I can say, okay, well, I can play it. It's really the classical piano. I of course played all periods, all the styles, from Bach to Prokofiev, Hindemith, Stravinsky, Rachmaninoff, Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, Brahms. So everything is in a way in my head, somewhere behind. All this, the harmony and the feelings, because music is about feelings. And when I was practicing piano, when I was playing German music, you're just discovering those little emotions, the little things that they're beautiful. You just do with the phrasing, and you're talking to people, and you know, you're breathing with music, with natural, with instruments, with phrases, and I discovered back as a composer for film music. So I know those feelings, and when I'm composing something, then I just have to first imagine the right feeling, what is it supposed to be. Like in the Toltec Legacy webpage, I didn't have any images, which is rather unusual. You know, you have to, but there was very good description of that, what I was expecting to do. So, for example, in 1 and 2, there was written monastery bells. Well, so it doesn't give you feelings, but for me, it gave me image right away. I just, you know, just monastery bells somewhere far away, and I just hear kind of like 99 mysterious music or something with questioning in the back, and just this one word, monastery bells, gives me the kind of image in my head, and I kind of heard the sound right away. And you know, there was piano concerto. I'm just in my piano concerto, just really flying hands, and it's the piano concerto, romantic. You know, in a way, to write a piano concerto, as I said, you can't really write it for a classical stage, because nobody would be, I guess, interested in that. Even if it's nice, but everybody says, oh, we have that. We have Rachmaninoff, we have Tchaikovsky, we have Brahms. You know, I can't really come to the stage, and I wrote a romantic piece, and it's, you know, piano concerto. So these things work in multimedia. If there would be a movie that would involve pianist that is, you know, his life or something, then it would be perfect for the movie. That he would be playing that concerto, and it would be recorded, and he would be on the stage and playing that. Maybe just 5 minutes of that. But you know, to write like a whole, like 40 minutes, like concerto in classical form, probably wouldn't make much sense in sense of realization of whatever would happen with it. So I said the other piece, the castle's hall, then I could imagine ballet of that, because it's somehow it's in Baroque. It's a harpsichord with strings and oboe, and it has some. It's moving. There's a rhythm still going on, which in a way is like a dance. And at the same time, it's something flowing and giving you some emotions that you're kind of watching them. It's like you have this rhythm that's going on. It's something like minimalism in a way. It's just there, the piece, and you watch it, and you have a feeling of you watching something. And for me, it could be perfect for ballet, because you have both of the elements there. You have written, and at the same time, there will be some kind of storytelling in the whole ballet, and it would give you. It was just the idea of like a spontaneous. Like, it could be ballet, it could be maybe something else. If you're a musician, and you know, I don't know how many years, but you know what is the score in front of you. You know how to play it, what you're looking there, what you're trying to do, and you know how much the score will give you informations. So the first thing when I'm composing, I know that the score I'm writing, the musician is going to see, and I'm trying to make it as much as possible clear to what I'm expecting them to do. Because if I just write notes, no articulations, and no things, no dynamics, they don't know how to play it. It's not possible. I mean, you have to really. So as a musician, I know that the more I write on the page and make it more clear, so easier going to be for them to play. That's the first thing. The second thing, I'm trying to make all musical lines. It's not like somebody would play something, not something awkward. It's happened quite often that you have sometimes even modern compositions, and it's really strangely written. It's a strange register of the instrument of playing that, and they don't enjoy it. I know as a pianist, if I got a piece, you know, like modern composition or something, then if it's not good written, or if there is really weird things written, you don't enjoy it to play. So when I'm composing, I'm trying to make, of course, not everybody can play the melody all the time. But still, if you have some kind of background voice or harmony, still trying to make it somehow interesting for the musicians, that they can enjoy performing that. Or if you have long notes, trying to make a clarinet on one beat, you know, like 2 minutes. You're just trying to separate, give the line somebody else, and then go back. Trying to make it interesting, trying to make it attention in a way of the musician, and trying to make it enjoyable for them. And that's the experience because I'm a musician and know how it is to play something. Well, the difficulty about my piece was, first of all, no limitations. That's the first problem. Like, oh, no limitations. What can I do? I can do anything, and that's the problem. Just running. Let's do that. And but I kind of then got down. Okay, maybe these 3 sketches I did, and then that's why I didn't do mock-up, because I didn't want to be limited with MIDI again. I just rather do it directly into the orchestration. And since it wasn't necessary to make MIDI, and it's just a natural way for me. The MIDI mockup is more or less what I'm doing always for the client to hear before the actual recording, so he can hear what is it going to be. Not like in old times you would have to play on piano, little team, this is it, and I'll see you on the scoring stage. These days every director will expect you to get the MIDI mockup so you can hear this is going to be like that, and in a way it's good because you can creatively work still with the director, and he can tell you, well, this is not right what I'm expecting, and okay, why? And I just get a point. Okay, I was thinking you're meaning something else. So it's also a good way for the director to really shape the movie, and he won't be surprised on the dubbing stage to see, okay, this is the music. Well, I wasn't expecting rock guitars here. You can really, that's a good part of that. Difference between working in Toltec Legacy with no visuals and the movie with visuals is that you have to just imagine what is going to be there. You go for emotions only. If you see the picture, you're obviously shaping the music directly to the picture. So there are certain points in the movie somebody will turn or somebody will focus on something, and you can point that in the music. You have somebody or will say something or just make a certain move, and the music can express or very subtle to go with that. And if you have no visuals, there's nothing you can follow. You just go for basic emotion, and which could be like calm, like the healing things, and wondering, questioning mood. You just wondering, what could it be, and just thinking, okay, let's try something like the questioning mood. It's something worth modulating constantly, and this is little hint that I can find in what is the music supposed to express, like wondering mood, and I can maybe do constant modulations because you walk, you wonder, you're looking for things, and so there's a difference. I can just go with these little hints hidden in the text of an expression that I can find in the music, so it will back, gives you the impression that you're expecting. open to any music. I'm trying to find in any music something interesting, and trying to see why is this interesting, why are people listening to this. And sometimes, you know, of course, I'm analyzing things as a composer to see why this works, how it's written, how is it produced, what's the main thing about this composition or this style. And of course sometimes I just leave it, just enjoy, like with no analyzing, just let the music the way it is. But I don't have anything special. I like post-romantic music, but I think I'm open to any kind of music, more or less. What I'm doing, it is a really a dream, and I'm very happy, and I'm enjoying every minute of that. Sometimes it's a little hard to enjoy, but still, it's enjoyable. It's as I said before, I think the greatest thing of the music, you never do exactly the same thing. It's always something new, something. You're exploring things, you're exploring music, you're trying to find the right emotions, and this is a big dream, you know, to write, to compose a music, and to see the people react on that, and to get the expression that you try to give the music. They tell you what the music is saying. It is really great thing that when it happens.